Hello, beautiful people. My name is Nicholas. I was born in France, but I really feel like a citizen of the world after having traveled, lived, and worked in more than 50 countries. I've spent most of my life trying to fuse spirit and science. We tend to separate these concepts, but I've always believed that the answers, the existential questions um, we tend to ask ourselves dwell in the marriage of spirit and science. On the one hand, I'm a holistic therapist, mixing Western medicine and Chinese medicine, but I'm also a Reiki master. I come from a background of having studied a master's degree in sports and science, specialized in professional coaching and psychology. I was a professional basketball coach for many years, but also university teacher. In 2012, I embarked on a beautiful journey around the world, overland, without money. I actually wrote a book about it called The Five Faces of Freedom. And I also wrote a few other books, one being the Moon Alchemy Handbook, which is totally related to what I do in terms of astrology. So I don't like boxes and labels and judgment, but to make it simple, I'm also an astrologer. I started studying astronomy when I was 11 years old and astrology when I was 14 years old. But it took me some time and all this pilgrimage around the world, again, trying to mix spirit and science as the two faces of the same coin, like pretty much all the concepts that dwell in the human experience. I teach people how to connect, reconnect with our true essence and purpose through the cycles of the moon. How the moon transits each sign, each cycle, each element, because we are the elements within and without, and we need to reconnect with these elements in order to reconnect with our purpose, our vocations. So this concept guides us to move on because we doubt sometimes, and that's okay. We need to step back and integrate and introspect processes in order to move on, to transcend this energy. We can adapt all our activities according to the moon cycle. And this includes physical activities, of course, can be yoga, it can be meditation, it can be breath work, but it can also be the menstrual cycles and all types of connection with the feminine divine, because in astrology, the moon represents our emotions, our deepest emotions, and our feminine divine, therefore our art and creativity. So through this process, we can learn also how to reconnect with nature and live in harmony with nature, but also with the cycles of the moon and ancestral knowledge. Because at the end of the day, when I say spirit and science, is very much connected with shamanism and esotericism as well, but with a real background and concrete knowledge in order to understand where we come from, where we are, and where we're going to. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you soon.